She's cartoonishly evil. People are sharing their worst ever celeb encounters, and I can't believe how bad some of these are. One of my coworkers absolutely adored him and was so excited to meet him. He made her cry. Recently, Reddit user Lissy34 asked, "Who is the worst celebrity you have ever met and why?" And people had lots of shocking celebrity stories to share, good and bad. Here are 33 of the worst, with a few happier encounters here and there. Disclaimer, these are just anecdotes from Reddit, so obviously we aren't able to confirm them. Take everything with a grain of salt. I will say I 100% believe all the Robin Williams ones. 1. The worst was Michael Jordan. I spent around 4 months in a Chicago children's hospital in the mid-1990s. We often had local celebrities visit the hospital. Most of them came alone or with a few friends or family members. But Michael Jordan walked in with an entourage that included reporters and photographers from 2 different newspapers. He refuses to play wheelchair basketball with us because he might get hurt. He refused to sign autographs because his autograph was worth $200 a pop. Only pictures allowed were those taken by the photographer, and these were only really done with a few paraplegic teenage boys who played wheelchair basketball. He was there for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Contrast him to my 2 favorites, Chris Farley and Britney Spears. Mr. Farley came in the mid-1990s through a back door. He read to the kids in the ICU and to the toddlers after their surgeries. He did character voices. He was the best giant in Jack and the Beanstalk when he read it to me after my scoliosis surgery. He even performed Lunch Lady Land for us teenagers with the props borrowed from our lunch lady. Britney came one day in 1999 and hung out with us. We white girl danced to her songs with her, made and ate homemade pizza with her, and then we watched a girly rom-com. When she saw that our teenage rec room was kinda sad, she donated money to redo it. 2. Chevy Chase. We had a friend who threw a gala at a nice hotel, I think in Florida, and Chevy Chase was absolutely shit-faced and started screaming that he wanted a donut, nothing else. Just a donut. It was like 2 a.m. and my friend explained there weren't really any open places nearby, and he basically threatened to get our friend fucking fired. So he got a waiter to run out and miraculously find a convenience store and bought him donuts. When they presented him with one, he took one bite, threw it on the floor, and walked away. 3. Pre-Big Bang Theory. I met Johnny Galecki at a Magic, the Gathering weekly game at a small bookstore at the mall. Nobody recognized him. I did, since he was David on Roseanne, and I was cool enough not to bring it up. He liked Magic, the Gathering, but didn't have a deck. I offered him one of my extra decks, but as I was a poor 14-year-old, it wasn't amazing. He kept insulting it nonstop and was rude as fuck. Like, you were on a major TV show, and I'm a child. I was giving you a deck, not my main one, to be nice, and you shat all over it and kept insulting me for its stupidity. The fact that they have a Magic, the Gathering episode was salt on the wound. 4. James Corden. I had the displeasure of bumping into him at the London Bridge Experience, and he treated everyone there like shit. He kept acting like he deserved special treatment, taunting staff, and acting like the massive twat he is. Even managed to use the "do you realize who I am" line a couple of times. Long story short, James Corden is an obnoxious, talentless piece of shit. 5. Toni Collette. I work for an airline, and if we see her name on the passenger list, we are filled with dread. She's notorious. My colleague made her bed on a night flight. She ripped up the bed sheet, threw it aside, and said, "That's not how you make a fucking bed." I've had my own run-ins with her, too, although nothing as extreme as the above. She yelled at us for serving her the wrong type of tea. It was the correct one. Very disappointing, as I really rate her as an actor, and she always comes across as warm and grounded in interviews. Clearly, she's not just acting on set. 6. I had a terrible experience with Lizzo at my last job. She was really rude to me and my fellow female coworkers who worked the venue of an event she was the special guest at. Then she got on stage, talking about how much she empowers women. 7. When Drake was still on Degrassi, I was working at a local movie theater in the city, and we got celebrities occasionally because we were not far from downtown. Anyway, by pure chance, not only did Drake show up at the theater, but a few moments after him, Hilary Duff came in. because Drake was wearing a black shirt with the word security in bright fucking yellow and I didn't recognize him. He yelled at me for assuming he was Hillary's security person. He did the whole "don't you know who I am" spiel too. My manager, after I told him what happened, was also like, WTF did he expect wearing the shirt? Hillary Duff was super nice, though. 8. I ran into Brooke Hogan and her mom, Linda, at the Tampa airport right when she released her first album. I tried to say hi, and she was so rude. She looked at me like I was a peon. Her mom was sweet. Well, fast forward to about 6 months ago, I told this same story on a Tampa area famous radio DJ's Instagram page. Brooke ended up DMing me a couple of months later, apologizing and saying that her entire childhood, she was on pins and needles and was probably just really stressed. Shrug light skin tone emoji modifier ## it made me sad for her, and I forgave her. 9. Dakota Fanning was bored out of her mind and looked like she wanted to be anywhere else when I interviewed her for a college newspaper. I felt like a slug. Kristen Stewart, on the other hand, despite her image in the press at the time, was so sweet and thoughtful in her answers and even told her publicist, who was trying to rush her along, to basically leave her alone while she continued to chat with me. She even remembered my name at the end and said it was great talking. I was smitten. 10. Paris Hilton. I work for a major U.S. airline, and she used to fly for us. The airline in question no longer exists, and she was known to be a huge jerk to everyone. Once, showing up for a flight going to Laos, she decided that she needed to bring on 8 bags to accommodate her stuff. She had a round trip for 2 days, and when we told her she couldn't bring more than 2 items on board, she threw a fit and threatened to call our CEO. My manager's response was, "Go ahead. He is out of a job in a few months. You can call the FAA to complain to them." She proceeded to miss the flight and call all of us at the gate bitches for ruining her trip. She ended up buying the next flight, the last flight to Laos out of LAX, and bought the entire first-class seat so her bags could all go in the overhead. She was a truly weird and bizarre woman. Jennifer Garner, however, is the sweetest, nicest person I've ever met out of everyone I've interacted with. I never met Jennifer Garner personally, but she used to regularly appear at a children's hospital in Orange County. She was in the crafts room one time when a friend's daughter was staying there, and she did crafts with my friend and her daughter and was interacting with them and other kids and telling stories the whole time. 11. Ray Manzarek, keyboardist of The Doors. My stepsister saw him at Universal City Walk. She was suffering from leukemia and had undergone a lot of chemotherapy, so she very much looked like a 13-year-old cancer patient.